Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Short, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, break free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh!
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal team. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it through to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on a Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to our YouTube page, and if you're watching us on our YouTube page, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube page, for real, come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, all one handle at the Shawn Sierra. We got a great show, but I need you to get in whatever platform you're watching us on. Leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check out the chat because the chat is jumping already. And, man, StreamYard made some updates. They can't put your name in there. It's all by your email address. That's crazy. My man, Junior. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. Says, good morning, y'all. And he says, Sean, thank you. Got the second note. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up, what up, what up? Sean and Sports Zoners. This is funny. Black Diamond, Petty King, JV, 111. Black Diamond in the house. Top of the morning, gang. FGB. What? FGB. Cornelius Squalls, we had him, my man. Shorty in the house is top. Oh, morning. 2. Yeah. Shorty's in the house. That's good stuff, Shorty. Great stuff. Patty Lara's in the house. She was happy. Mickey Ficky. TGI Friday, Sean. It's the weekend, baby. I am fired up. Yeah. Pardon me. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That, I can promise you. We have, listen, we got a great show for you. And at the bottom of the hours, we got to get it cracking live. At the bottom of the hour, Rob Gregson from A to Z Sports. He covers the Pittsburgh Steelers for A to Z Sports. Going to come out. We're going to talk about this big matchup Sunday afternoon on the lakefront. Steelers coming to the Bears. All right. So Rob Gregson from A to Z Sports is going to come and join us at the bottom of the hour. So we got to get it crack-a-lackin'. My man Rick Gonzalez checked in. Good morning, fool. FGB and smoke weed. I like this little. I do like the Barry White bass in my voice a little bit. I do like this. It sounds cool, especially when I laugh. It reminds me a little bit of Vincent Price. For those of you who don't know who Vincent Price is, there got to be a couple people in here who don't know who Vincent Price is. But anyway, for those of you, he's the guy who's in the Thriller video, the Thriller song with Michael Jackson. He's the guy who does the laugh at the end. That's Vincent Price. He was in all kinds of. That's him right there. So real quick story before we get to it. Funny, the more you know. So Vincent Price was hired on to do that part in Thriller. Okay. And so they asked him, they had one or two options for getting paid. They said, do you want, I think it was like $15,000 or $20,000 to start? Do you want $15,000 or $20,000, or do you want a percentage of royalties? And Vincent Price apparently wasn't a big Michael Jackson fan. Didn't know of who Michael Jackson was at the time, where he was about to go. So he said, nah, I'll just take the $15,000 or $20,000, whatever it is they gave him for that particular part. So he walked away with only $15,000, $20,000, as opposed to who knows how much he would have made, because that thing is still going. That song is still going to this day. I think about that around Halloween time when they play it on all the radio stations, all the oldie radio stations, he'd be getting royalties. So yeah, so crazy. Let's see. Yeah, Junior, you're now from the school of Kenneth Davis. And I could tell I was getting better yesterday because whenever I coughed, like when I had a really bad cough, my whole body wouldn't ache. The pain had subsided. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get it crack-a-lackin' because my man, a new guest, Rob Gregson from A to Z Sports, is going to join us shortly. So let's get that out of the way. And let's get it cracking, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
She won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Here we go, baby. The first top of the morning topic. Which way we go? Which way do we go? We're going to go back. What we're going to do right here is go back in time. We're going back to Wednesday. Woo, Charlie. The Bullies, baby. Big time onions. Is that what Chuck Swirsky said? The Bulls beat the Blazer 122-121 and a last-second three-point shot by Nikola Vucevic. Vuce led the way with 27 points, 8 rebounds. Kobe White looking like he never skipped a beat. He had 25 points. He had 27 points in his first game back, 25 in his second game back. Man, this dude hasn't even missed a beat. Ayo Dosunmu, he knocked down 14. Isaac Okoro added 13. And Matas, my man, Matas Buzelis, contributed 11 in the winning effort. The Bulls tonight host the Miami Heat at the United Center. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on CHSN Plus or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Bulls are home, baby. They are back home. They came home. A nice little 2-1 road trip, a quick road trip. Very nice. Nice, boys. Don't stop now, boys. Don't stop now. The next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks. A rough one yesterday, man. Connor Bedard. Woo. Blackhawks lose to the Seattle Kraken 3-2. Spencer Knight stopped 24, 27 shots. Tyler Bertucci notched his 10th of the year. Teuvo Teravainen, the old vet, he lit the lamp for the 5th time this year, assists in the game. Teravainen hit his 10th. Frankie Nazar his 9th. Bertucci his 7th. And Levshinov his 11th helpers of the year. Staying with the Blackhawks are in Buffalo tonight to face the Sabres. Puck drop is at 6 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on CHSN and listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. And as you well know, baby, we know the next top of the morning topic, the Bears. What did I say, the Bulls? The Bears host the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday on the lakefront at Soldier Field. Kickoff is at high noon. You can catch that high noon Central. You can catch that game on CBS 2 or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. Big game for the Bears. Big game. They're placing a quality team that's well coached. That's got some dogs up front. They got some dogs on the corner. I think it's a big. Ben Johnson should have a field day. This should be a situation where you exploit. And here, Ben Johnson, we're going to find out how well you're able to exploit specific matchups. They don't cover tight ends very well. All right, we have 2 very good tight ends. Let's go and let's hurt them with. Let me take this down. Let's hurt them with the tight ends. All right, run the ball, get the tight ends involved, and make it a long day for that defense. They're 3rd in the NFL in sacks. So they get to the quarterback, but they're also giving up a lot of points too, passing yards. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy for them. They lead in sacks, but on one end on defense, but then they're also giving up a decent amount of passing yards too. Go figure. But anyway, we have a nice challenge ahead of us on Sunday. It's going to be a great day for some football. A great day for some football on Sunday. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, Thanksgiving Sunday for the Lauer family. Okay. Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. That's right. Sunday. Bears game, Thanksgiving, because money has to work, right? That's cool. That's good. That's good. That's dope. But there's a lot I'm looking forward to for Sunday. All right. Here's something. And I know Pittsburgh's a good team. But for some reason, I'm just not as concerned as I was to start the season. And that's no disrespect to Pittsburgh. It's more of what we've turned into. It's a lot more of what the Bears have turned into. Right, the defense is king of takeaways. Okay, this is without pressure. All right, we're getting some people back, and a lot of times we overthink. We like to overthink things, and this doesn't stop from our preparation. Remember, don't ever let your opponent determine your preparation. And I don't think that they would have let that happen. Not with a Mike Tomlin coached team. You never let your opponent determine your preparation. Your preparation. You set the standard and you continue it week in, week out. Doesn't matter what the record of your opponent is. But I just, as a fan, someone who's been involved in a game for a hell of a long time, I'm just not. I don't want to say not worried because Pittsburgh's a tough team and they're coached and they can win. But I feel a little more confident than I did probably even 2-3 weeks ago, but definitely way before the season started. I think it's our development. I think it's the way we're gelling. I think it's the way Caleb's playing. I think it's the way this running game is really taken off, especially after the break, after our little bye. I feel really good about it. But that's just me. And that's why they play the games on Sunday. But listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome Rob Gregson. He works for A to Z Sports. He covers the Steelers for them. We're going to talk about this matchup on Sunday. We're going to find out if Aaron Rodgers, is playing or not. And a lot of people want him to play. I couldn't give a rat's ass if he plays or not. I don't care. All right. I want to go. My biggest thing is us going 8-4, 8-3, as opposed to getting revenge on him. Now, if he plays, I'm gonna test that. I'm gonna test that wrist. But if he doesn't play, I'm gonna take the dub. And also, who's gonna be the backup quarterback? Everyone assumes it's gonna be Mason Rudolph, or is it? We'll find out. We'll find out from Rob on the other side of the break. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an
Do
emergency
you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Booch going back inside, in and out.
He started the first shot, he got inside.
Felt like a tree and needs a suitcase.
Yeah.
All in 2 trips. That was the second team foul on Portland, by the way. 5 to play in this quarter. White, stop and start on Murray. 2 on the clock. He gets it over the length. Vooch giving it open lane. Excellent vision for the modest stuff.
Vooch will average 25 points a game every night if he did that. Serious.
He does against the Blazers.
I'm telling you, Vooch, go get it, dog cookies.
Dalen Terry lift off.
There's a turnover. Get out wide. Should have layups.
McCoby no look pass. Terry reverse.
Oh, looking like the Showtime Bulls there. Gave him a little no look pass. Looking like magic in the middle of the court.
Ball fake into Kobe. Checked by Avdia. Down to 5. Down to 4. Game on the line right here. He takes Murray. He ducks under. Boots for the win.
Bucci Maine has done it again. Put some respect on Bucci Maine's name.
Put some respect on Bucci Maine's name. Man, welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Chicago Sports Network. That was Wednesday night. Bucci Maine. I'm telling you, we are so lucky and blessed in Chicago to have such great announcers, color commentators, and for all of our teams. And Stacey King, when he took over for Johnny Red Kerr years ago, I didn't know how it would go because Johnny Red Kerr was such a homer. Because don't forget, he coached the Bulls, he played for the Bulls. His heart was with the Bulls. And Stacey King, same thing. Drafted by the Bulls out of Oklahoma. He was a All-American at Oklahoma, part of the first 3 championships. And he came back, and his personality just fit in perfectly as a color commentator. And just his nicknames, he's created a cult following, and it's awesome to hear that calls like that on a game. Bucci Maine, he called them. I love it. But anyway, let's get a crack-a-lackin', baby. We got a big game on Sunday on the lakefront. My first guest is a newcomer to the show. Looking forward to having him on. He covers the Steelers for A to Z Sports. You can find him on Twitter at NFL_Rob. Guys, welcome to Shawn Sierra Sports, Rob Gregson. Rob, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing well. Obviously excited to be on here, Shawn. Thank you for the opportunity. We got a big game this weekend. Obviously, there's a lot of storylines, so looking forward to breaking them all down with you.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, my man. It's gonna be good. You guys are coming into the lakefront, all right, over here at Soldier Field. It's gonna be one heck of a matchup. The Bears have a good running game. Our running game has really taken off since our bye, which was very early, week 5 of the NFL season. You guys got some hogs up front. How do you think your defensive line, or your front 7, I should say, are going to stand up to the run game that we have, which is leading the NFL in rushing since week 5?
Yeah, the Steelers' defense has been a work in progress all year. They've been so up and down. They're going to thrive off turnovers, but the run defense specifically, when their guys are up front, I'm talking about Benton, Hayward, obviously the rookie Derek Harmon, and then those 2 or 3 edge players, they can be formidable. We've seen them. They gave it to the Patriots, who we know they like to run the ball. The Vikings, they wanted to run the ball. They couldn't. When they have their guys and when you're really engaged, because, run defense is just about being engaged more than anything. They can really stonewall a lot of teams. They can create a lot of havoc because that's what the Steelers defense has always been predicated, lives and dies, starts with stopping the run. We'll see, how locked in they are against the Bears.
Yeah, well, luckily we have a 2-headed attack, which is really dope, very similar to Ben Johnson's last stop in Detroit. DeAndre Swift was the guy we signed in the offseason last year, and then this year we have we drafted a guy out of Rutgers, and a lot of people didn't know a lot about him, myself included. He was a 7th round pick, and people looked at him like, who is this guy? They wanted other guys. They wanted Travion Henderson, but the Pats snuck up and took him right pick before us in the 4th round, I want to say. But this guy, Kyle Monangai, is a workhorse. He led the Big Ten in rushing 2 years ago. He was second in the Big Ten in rushing last year. Hasn't fumbled in college. Can pass pro. And when he got the start a couple of weeks ago, he busted off a 176 in that game. So we have a 2-headed monster. How do you guys see yourself stopping the 2-headed monster? DeAndre Swift is more of a scat back who's shown to run over people, And Kyle Monunga is a guy who's going to get those tough yards. He's quick. He's a one-cut runner and goes. He's tough to bring down. Usually first contact doesn't bring him down.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question because one thing that the Steelers have done recently, they started the season, they were playing a lot of single high safety, right? Which is obviously for an offense, that's going to hurt your run looks. But recently, they've gone to a two high safety look, playing a lot more split coverage, and that naturally you would think would allow teams to be able to rush the ball more. You got one less person in the box. However, what they've done really well is they've taken Peyton Wilson, who's honestly, he leads the team in tackles, but he no longer plays in base. So anytime that power back is in there, they'll pull him out. They'll put in Malik Harrison, Cole Holcomb. He might be back this week. They'll put that player alongside Patrick Queen, and they'll make sure that they have as many big bodies as they can to hold up against the run. And then when you've got someone like Swift in there, who obviously is a starter of the bell cow, we know he's a lot quicker. That's when you would see Peyton Wilson come in. That's when you might see a lighter defensive tackle come in, just so that way they can combat everything, because they're not going to fix what's been working, and that's been that two high safety look. They would just be crazy to think to go back to a one high cell, especially against a Ben Johnson led offense. So I think that's what you're going to see. Look at that second level of the defense. Which linebacker is in there? Is it 55? Is it 41? Or is it Malik Harrison?
Okay. All right. One of the issues that it seems you guys have been having a problem covering tight ends, and we're very fortunate. We have two good ones. Colston Loveland kind of had his coming out party a couple of weeks ago in Cincinnati. Late in the game in the fourth quarter, caught a long pass, bounced off two defenders, and outraced the rest of the secondary for a game-winning touchdown. And then we got Cole Kmet, who's built like a Greek god, more of a traditional tight end type deal. He can block, he can catch, he can run. Not as athletic as Colston, but he can definitely get some yards after catch. How do you anticipate that? How do you anticipate trying to stop those two guys, since that could be one of the weaker parts of your defense, because it's definitely not your corners. So how do you think you're going to combat us with our tight ends?
Yeah, that's also a good one, because throughout the year, and honestly, really since Mike Tomlin's been there, they have the Steelers, that is, have always struggled to cover good tight ends. I mean, you go back and think about the Brady dynasty and with the Patriots. Anytime they played the Pats, Rob Gronkowski just went off, because the Steelers traditionally have placed a linebacker on a tight end. And when you get someone who's as versatile as those two guys, that's just not going to work, right? We're talking about having these thumpers try and cover guys in space. It's a recipe for disaster. So what the Steelers have done, again, with that two high safety look, is now either Jalen Ramsey or Kyle Duggar, they tend to come down and cover that starting tight end. I expect that. I expect you to see a lot of that. It might even be a little bit of Brandon Echols. He's played in the slot some. We could see Asante Samuel Jr. elevated off the practice squad, but by no means will they be going into this game and thinking of having Patrick Queen or even Peyton Wilson on either of those two guys. They're just too dynamic. We've seen that song and dance before. I fully expect Jalen Ramsey, Kyle Duggar, Brandon Echols, even Asante Samuel Jr., one of those guys that's playing that nickel safety hybrid role sometimes. Those are the matchups you're going to see for Kmet, for Loveland, and then obviously for the Steelers defense.
Okay. Well, you guys got some pretty stud cornerbacks. One was our pick from the Chase Claypool deal, and Joey Porter Jr. We'd like to have that one back. Thank you very much.
That's where Omar Khan got his nickname, the con artist. It all started from that. It's actually come back to hurt him a little bit, because now he thinks that every team's going to make trades like Chase Claypool, and that's just simply not the case, obviously.
No, just stick to us and you'll be fine. Trust me.
Yeah.
But you got two stud corners. We have two stud receivers in DJ Moore, who's a proven veteran. We have Roma Dunze, who's a rising star. We also do have a youngster named Luther Burden, who is a all out and out playmaker. He led the NCAA last year in yards after catch. How do you think your secondary holds up against our wide receiving core?
Yeah, real quick. So I also covered the draft for us, and Luther Burden was close to being my wide receiver number one. And it's funny,
really,
because there's a lot of similarities between Luther Burden and Antonio Brown. And I'm not talking about the jersey colors. I know he played in Missouri, but you go back, you watch that Missouri tape, and as Bears fans know, I'm sure you've already seen some of it this year, and just there's a lot of similarities, whether it's the body composition, the way that he performs with the ball in his hands, the way he catches the football. There's a lot of very, very similar things. And Antonio Brown, a lot of people forget, he didn't take off until year 2 or 3. And he was a 6th-round pick. Luther Burden was selected much higher. So I am very bullish on Luther Burden. Forget the fact that he's got a superstar, a budding superstar quarterback, and one of the best and brightest offensive minds in the league. Luther Burden's going to be a good player, and he's going to be a player that this weekend stresses that secondary for the Steelers. Because like you said, you got Romo Dunze out there, you got DJ Moore, and now you got Luther Burden. The Steelers, as good as they've been when they've gone to this too high look, there's still a lot of question marks at that cornerback number 2 spot because Darius Slay, Mike Tomlin, in my opinion, he's making a big mistake. He came out this week, he said, if Slay is healthy, which he is, practiced yesterday and Wednesday, he's going to go back to that starting role. I don't like that. Darius Slay, he's older, and while he's been up and down, he's been decent, he gets banged up so much. At least since he's joined the Steelers, he's been injured, it feels like, every game. James Pierre, the backup, 42, that's the name to watch. He has been magnificent while Slay has been out, while he's been in concussion protocol. If Joey Porter Jr. can play the way he's been playing, and then obviously what you get from James Pierre, they've got a good chance to match up well. But then you got that third player, and that's, again, why I wonder if you don't see Asante Samuel Jr., who they just signed, who we know is a good player in this league, elevated from the practice squad, because somebody has to guard Luther Burden. Because, once again, you don't want a safety on that guy. You darn sure don't want a linebacker on that guy. You got to figure out who's going to guard that third perimeter option.
And this is where we trust in Ben Johnson to exploit those matchups, create those matchups, and exploit them. All right, with the tight ends, with that number 3 receiver, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see Luther Burden have a breakout game. I know he's already had a 100-yard game this season. But that was mostly on one big catch. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a breakout game for him, and/or a huge game for the tight ends as well, because that's where the matchup is best for us on the offensive side of the ball. And if it is, then Ben Johnson, it will continue to show why he is the guy. Why I think, and a lot of Bears fans think, that he is the right guy for this job in acquiring all this talent, because there's so many in defenses. It's tough for defenses. I was a defensive coordinator for a long time, and I'll tell you, it's tough when you have 4, 5, maybe 6 legitimate options on offense that you got to stop. You sometimes you just don't have the personnel, and then even in the NFL, you just don't have the talent on the defensive side of the ball to cover 4 or 5 different weapons. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe the really good ones 3. Man, when you start getting to that 4th and 5th weapon, now you start to see the matchups. And if Ben can start to can expose those, my goodness, it's going to be a good day for us and over on the lakefront.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the other side of the ball. The big $1 million question. You see the thumbnail on the back. Well, the Bears get to take on ownership is the name of it. Aaron Rodgers, pardon me. We have a little history with this guy, and unfortunately, It's not very good here in Chicago. Right. 25-5, I believe, is his record against us. He made the claim, the very very famous claim, I own you, and unfortunately, he has in his career. It's not the same Aaron Rodgers of 10, 15 years ago. Maybe you could even say that. He's a little older, definitely wiser, not as mobile, not as strong, but his mind is just as quick, if not sharp as ever. Are you expecting him to play this week with that with the fracture in his non-throwing wrist?
A little behind the scenes here. So, shot my video last night, and we waited because we wanted to see if Aaron Rodgers was going to practice on Thursday. He did just that. And I could see it coming from a mile away, because, as you said, 25-5, the famous I own you. He downplayed it in the media this week. Oh, it's just another game. I've had good times in Chicago, this and that. No, we know you know how much Aaron Rodgers is a spiteful guy, how much he believes in those revenge tours, those
Petty,
factors,
yes.
very petty. You said it and they hit the nail on the head. He's going to want to play against the Bears. When I saw that he was out there throwing the football around in that, in the portion of practice that's available to the media, I would honestly be shocked if he didn't play, because he talked about it. He goes, I can tolerate the pain. He goes, this is my left wrist. He had a cast on it yesterday at practice. I fully expect him to be back at practice today. I think that he will be just fine. I think that he's going to play against the Bears. If for no other reason, then it's the Chicago Bears, right? Honestly, the Steelers, they need to win. They really do. You look at the AFC, you see that the Ravens are hot on their tail. He wants to get back on the good side of things after that bad Chargers game. I would be really, really surprised if Aaron Rodgers didn't play. The only way is if somehow, some way, the medical staff says, no, we can't clear you, because that happened last week, right? I'm sure you guys know. He wanted to come back in the game in the second half, and they told him no. They said, no, you're not doing it. So it's not a pain tolerance thing. I think he'll be just fine. Again, left wrist, maybe a little trouble gripping the ball. It's going to be cold, but it's definitely something that the Bears can look after, but I would be very surprised if he doesn't play at this point.
Well, guys, we're joined by Rob Gregson, who covers the Steelers for A to Z Sports. We're talking Steelers-Bears matchup right here on Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. It's actually not going to be very cold. It's going to be mid-50s on Sunday here in the lakefront. So it's going to be a perfect day. Just a little lick of the fingers before you pass the ball, and the ball's going to be ripping and roaring out of his hand. How concerned are you that the Bears are going to test it? Like I've said this plenty of times. I don't know if the Bears have any dogs on that defense. Just some dude that you just don't mess with. You know what I mean? And there are a couple of them in the league, but I'm wondering, how concerned are you that someone tests him? Someone, gives him a shot on the right side and makes him fall to the left to kind of brace himself, with that left hand, just to get him out. How concerned are you that someone's going to try and test that left arm when they're going for the sack? They're coming down, they're going to swipe down on that wrist, and we don't know the severity of that fracture. If it's a clean break, if it's still, we don't know exactly. So, give me your thoughts on maybe the Bears trying to knock him out.
No, I mean, I think that the Steelers, Rodgers, the pass protection unit, they'd be naive if they thought that the Bears weren't going to target that. And that's what they should do, right? It's football at the end of the day.
Yep.
Rodgers has one of the fastest times to throws in the entire league this year. And it's because of reasons just like that. Before the injury, if we're going to be honest here, if there's one portion of Rodgers' game where you're like, man, he just doesn't have it anymore, he's not willing to sit in there and take hits. Again, that was before the wrist injury. That's why all these people, when Mason Rudolph come into the game, they're like, oh, do we have a quarterback controversy? They really don't. They shouldn't. It just looked different because Mason Rudolph was willing to wait that extra half tick and take a big hit that Rodgers wants no part of. So that's going to be an even bigger point of emphasis. The tackle duo, they've been up and down for the Steelers, honestly. Troy Faltano at right tackle, he's been good most of the year. The last 2 weeks, he started to struggle. Broderick Jones, he's been an up and down player. On his best day, he's an average left tackle. So the Steelers know they're going to be coming, especially if Rodgers plays. The Bears are going to be coming for him. They're going to be gunning for that left wrist. Like you said, what are the little cheeky things? How do we hit him where it's within the play and we get him so he has to fall on his left side without obviously getting a flag? They're going to have to be on high alert. Rodgers, he knows what's coming. He knows it's the Bears. He knows what the left wrist, everybody knows. I would not be shocked at all if you saw him have to brace multiple times between the pass protection unit and just the Bears knowing what they have in Rodgers.
Yeah, so you're talking to me about the pass pro. I know they want to protect him, but how has it been? And I understand he's got a very quick release. And that was, first of all, that was one of the things that he was known for, his laser quick release. And sometimes in his younger days, he would hold it a little longer because if necessary, he can get it out quickly. As he's gotten older and more mature and not so fond of those hits, he learned to get rid of it quicker and let the playmakers make the plays. We may have some help coming back. Jalen Johnson might come back. He's our Pro Bowl corner. Tyreek Stevenson's a very tall, physical corner. So if the short, quick passes aren't there and Rodgers has to hold it for a minute, how good is that offensive line as far as protecting him because we lead the NFL in interceptions. We have the top 3 people in interceptions. So it's not just one guy with like 7 interceptions. We have one guy with 5, I believe, and the next 2 are tied with 4. So it's spread around, and then one of them is our linebacker. So we're the ability for us to take the ball away from quarterbacks, and this is without a pass rush. We don't have a consistent pass rush. It's been one of our strengths. It's been a big ally to us this season. But back to the original question, give me your confidence in this offensive line if Aaron has to hold that ball for a little longer because receivers are covered.
Yeah, if we're going scale 1 to 10, I'd put it at about a 5. I just, like I said, average as the day is long. They just cannot hold up. It's honestly a global issue, if we're being honest. So the issue is, outside of DK Metcalf, the Steelers don't have anyone that can stretch the field vertically, right? Really. I mean, Calvin Austin III, yeah, here and there. He's more of a wide receiver 3, if we're being honest. However, then you tie that to the fact that that tackle duo, specifically the left tackle, Broderick Jones, is not very good. And now you put on top of that, you have an older quarterback who doesn't want to stand there and take hits. And it all compounds into this global issue where the Steelers, they just having a tough time stretching the field, getting the ball downfield, because they know that they don't have either the playmakers, the quarterback, or that pass protection unit to hold up against a good pass rush, even an average pass rush like the Bears might have, because all you need as a pass rusher is an extra tick, an extra half second, and I'm going to get after the quarterback. So that is what is going to be a big issue. And, if the Bears, like you said, maybe, okay, that's the weaker point, bring some pressure. We know Dennis Allen, he'll do that. And as you stated with the turnovers, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the Bears are 5-0. They're undefeated this season when they force 2 or more turnovers. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster for the offense because they're going to have to push the envelope, the Steelers, that is. If they can't run the ball, if Rodgers is banged up, they're going to have to find ways to stretch the field, and it could lead to some very advantageous situations for that Bears defense.
Rob, another question for you. Who's running the ball for you guys? I mean, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, and obviously he's the biggest storyline of this game, but another big storyline is the run game. How's your offensive line in regards to the run game, and who's running the ball for you guys?
That's a great question because Jaylen Warren is the starter, and honestly, he and DK Metcalf, they are the only reasons why the Pittsburgh Steelers score points on offense. They just don't have enough big-time explosive threats outside of those 2 guys. However, it's a good question because Warren injured his ankle last week against the Bengals. He did not return to the game. Now, he's been practicing in a limited capacity. I think he will play, and they need him to play. Kenny Gainwell, he's the backup. He's been good. You might know of him with his time with the Eagles. He's a fine player, but they have to have that explosive nature from Jaylen Warren, and they really have to have it through their offensive line because, again, this offensive line has been a major issue, not just in pass protection, but when they line up with just 5 guys and maybe they go 11 personnel, 12 personnel, they struggle to run the football. They are only good running the football with one specific personnel package. It is their jumbo package. And the reason why that works is because they take their backup left guard, Spencer Anderson, they put him in. They now have 6 offensive linemen, and then they bring in Darnell Washington, who I don't know if you saw this week, finally admitted that he weighs over 300 pounds. So when they put that grouping out there, now you have a offensive line with a tight end that weighs over 2,100 pounds. We're talking about a Ram truck out there just trying to bulldoze defenses. And that is the only way that they've been able to run the football. Quite honestly, I don't know why they don't just spam that. If they're going to run the ball, you might as well just let teams know what's coming because that isn't a situation where you're trying to hide anything, right? You're just telling the Bears or the Bengals or whoever you play, hey, we're coming to run the football. We're bigger than you. See if you can stop us. So that's what they have to lean into, not just this week, but every week going forward. Because when they line up, like I said, 5 offensive linemen, maybe an extra tight end, they just have a tough time moving the ball. So look for that jumbo personnel package. Listen for that Spencer Anderson as reported eligible because that's what they want to do.
Yeah, Darnell Washington is a monster. Lord have mercy.
Incredible.
He's a monster. You saw him literally just throwing. It was like a dad throwing his 3-year-old and 5-year-old sons off of him running down the sidelines. It was
Absolutely.
just insane. And that is one hell of a weapon to have on short yardage when you need a key first down late in the game. Get it to him, let him rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. That is a monster of a man. Holy cow! That is that's going to be one heck of a matchup. We got to watch for him. They got to watch for him because he might be able to sneak out, especially in those packages where you have the jumbo and we're thinking run, and all of a sudden now you sneak him out, and God forbid you get him the ball, and now the fun begins.
Right.
Much for us,
Right.
but for you guys. Hey, Rob, before I let you go, my man, let me. I'm gonna ask you. Give me your prediction for this game.
Yep. I did one this week with my buddy Cole Noble. He covers the Bears for us. I like the Steelers. Close one, 23-20, assuming Aaron Rodgers plays. That's the only caveat. I believe he's going to play. If and when he does, I believe it's a close game. I believe that they edge him out. Rodgers, I just think he's going to pull something special. I think he's going to get one over on the Bears again. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way. The betting lines, they're very close. We'll see. I would keep an eye on them. They might start to sway as we get closer, especially if Rodgers practices in a full capacity today. But either way, it's going to be a close game. I fully expect the Steelers, if Rodgers plays, to win the game, though.
Okay. Here's what I have. So I'm thinking our offense. We're in the middle of a new offense, a new head coach, and the thing that most people don't understand and don't get is that it's not just the quarterback that has to learn a new offense. It's the offensive line, it's the running backs, it's the tight ends, it's the wide receivers, it's the timing of the receivers, it's the offensive line understanding how each running back runs the ball, and we've seen that the offensive line has gotten a good feel for the run game. I'm waiting for the pass game, and I said when the season started, I said it'll take about 10 weeks. I said, holler at me after week 10. Well, now we're in week 12, 11th game for the Bears, and I think this is the time where Caleb can kind of start really, I want to say mastering it, because I don't think he'll master it until year 2 or 3, but I think he'll be very efficient in this offense. All right, so I'm going this way, 27-20 Bears.
27-20 Bears.
We're at home, and I think that we're on a roll on a lot in the home cooking, even though they stayed at a hotel the night before. The home cooking, I think we're gonna be good. Hey,
no, I think it's gonna be a good game. I would not be shocked either way if it goes. I just think, Rodgers, this could be his last year. There's talks of him coming back in 2026. I think he's going to pull something out. I know he wants to play, but no, I'm excited for the game. I think it's honestly one of the best games of the weekend just because of the matchups that we talked about. What is everything going to look like? I could easily see either team winning, so it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I hope someone takes out Rodgers, and I don't mean that in a cheap way, because I'm definitely not. I didn't coach that. I didn't play that way. I didn't coach that way. But if you get taken out because someone puts their face mask in your chest, you break a collarbone or something like that, or you hurt injure your wrist, that's part of the game called football. I want somebody to hit him hard, okay, and knock him out of the game and tell him that his ownership stake in the Chicago Bears is done.
Yeah, there you go.
After what, freaking 17 years?
Right.
Pardon me, Rob. Great stuff, my man. I appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Sean. You can find me on Twitter, NFL_Rob, and then A to Z Sports Steelers. Anywhere else, just Google the name Rob Gregson. It'll take you to my author's page. All of my links to my social media is there. I really appreciate the time, and I'm looking forward to a really good game on Sunday. So thank you again, Sean.
All right, buddy. You have a good weekend.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, that's Rob Gregson from A to Z Sports coming on, talking Bears, Steelers. Great conversation. It's going to be one heck of a slobber knocker. Mike Tomlin's teams are tough. Our defense under Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson is tough. All right, our offense is starting to get a little nasty. Our offense. All right, I criticize this offense about not being tough, by not having any dogs on it. But guess what? You saw DeAndre Swift last week, 4th and 1, gets hit in the backfield, lowers his shoulder, bounces off the dude, continues to get the first down. We've seen Kyle Monangai. You know he's a dog. Okay? I called him Ashton Genty without speed because that's literally what he is. It's going to be one heck of a heavyweight fight, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, Ben Johnson, this could be a signature win for him. And I know the Steelers aren't the best in the AFC, but they're a quality opponent. Any Mike Tomlin team is a quality, well-coached, well-prepared team. And for you to beat them, you're going to have to play a very, very fundamentally sound and penalty, for the most part, a penalty-free game. Because if the Steelers don't do what you're not going to do, they're going to hurt themselves. What you ain't going to do, they ain't going to hurt themselves. That's what the Steelers don't do. Okay? So anything you get, anything the Bears get, they're going to earn. And that's all you want. That's all you want. Now, I'm looking forward to this week. And like I said, I just picked 10. I just picked 10 out of the air at the beginning of the year. I figured 10 weeks is more than enough for you to get comfortable, 11 weeks, for you to get comfortable in a system and become and learn how to become efficient in that system. And become efficient in that system. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Caleb. And don't forget, the weather's going to be nice. The weather's going to be nice. We're looking at about a high of 56. You talk about, Junior, me and you play ball, man. We love those games. A nice little brisk tinge in the air. You know what I mean? When you get someone good, it stings a little more. It stings a little more, when you get stuck, so So I'm really excited about this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back on the other side, and we're gonna talk more. All right, I'm gonna talk more Bears. All right, and what I expect from them. Okay, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
And it's a work in progress, and when you do it together in a divisional game, it's as exciting as it comes.
Here's Devin Duvernay. Looks for a block. Oh, big room! Duvernay, look at this! Across the 50, and a huge return for Devin Duvernay! The all-pro returner delivers in the clutch moment. 57-yard return.
Catches the ball all the way to the left side of the field. Nothing slows them down. They get walled. And the
Santos puts it up, and it is good! The comeback kid, Chicago Bears, do it again!
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those were the boys last week. Those were the boys, baby. And let me tell you, it was fun to watch. Fun to watch. Exhilarating, heart-stopping, but fun to watch. Let me tell you, it was one heck of a game. And I'm looking forward to it. What I'm not looking forward to, however, I'm not looking forward to it coming down to a final kick again. That's what I'm not looking forward to. Okay. I'm not looking forward to that. I need them to, and it's going to be tough because you're dealing with a Mike Tomlin team that is well prepared and resilient. Okay. I need them to, if they get up and when they get up, to hold the lead. I can't have them continue to give up these leads because this is not a sustainable way to go through the season. It's just not. It's not a sustainable way. You just cannot continue to do that and expect to win on last-second field goals. Expect to win on blocked field goals. Can't do that. Or you could do that. It's just not a very good recipe for success. Okay? Definitely not a good recipe for success. One of the things that I really would love to see, I want to see this team, I want to see this Bears team run the ball, play action pass, get up on them early, and then continue to run the ball and also after you take have a couple play action passes, I want to take a couple shots deep. I want to take a shot deep every quarter. Every quarter. I really think the Bears should take a shot every quarter. Okay, initially to start, all right, you're running the ball. You're running the ball, boom, no problem. Let me try this real quick. With Luther Burden with a post corner. Bam. Okay. If it's a cover two. So they've been going cover two because they like to have people in the box. Have Rome on the outside or DJ on the outside, with the Burden and slot. Have them run a deep out, 15-yard out from the outside position. Have Luther Burden run from the slot, run a post corner, get behind that safety on that particular side, and drop it in the bucket for the tutty. You can do it in a 2 high, or you can do it in a single high. A single high be even better because now it's just you're already on one side of the safety. You fake, you head to the post. He thinks you're coming at him, and then you plant and run away from him. He's got no help in a single high because the other cornerback who probably got the flat is going to be occupied by the deep out. I think that's a good recipe to go over the top and get a quick score and get on that board. Big crooked number goes up on that board. I think I really want to see, and if the Bears, what the Bears have seemed to do is always play to the level of their competition and just a little bit better than the level of their competition this year. Okay? Which is not a good recipe for success. But if you're going to do that, realize that the standard that you've set, okay, is going to have to be adhered to. Because the standard that the Pittsburgh Steelers have set and the way that they play, fundamentally sound, good, hard-nosed football, that's coming to the lakefront. And they're going to have the Bears are going to have to play that type of football in order to come out with a win. Because not a lot of Mike Tomlin teams lose on some fluky shit. Okay? Not a lot of Mike Tomlin teams are going to lose by a Hail Mary or the ball bouncing the wrong way. Why? Because they usually don't put themselves in that position. All right? Mike Tomlin is one of the might be the only coach in NFL history without a losing season. That is insane. Was it 16, 17 years? Let me find out. How many seasons has Mike Tomlin been a head coach? $18. I'm sorry, this is 19th season. 19th season, 18 seasons in a row, he's not had a losing season. That's insane. That means your teams are prepared. Okay. That means your teams are tough. It means your teams are resilient. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to is this. This would be a big, big feather in our cap. Is if we can say it's my prediction, 27-20. Okay, there's 5 minutes to go in the fourth, and we forced the Steelers to punt. Okay, I would love a bigger lead. Don't get me wrong. I love a 13, 17-point lead. But I don't know if it's going to get to that point. If it's 27-20, I would love to see us run the ball and run that clock out. All right, go 85 yards, 75 yards, 85 yards. Doesn't matter. Just continue to get first down after first down after first down, and no big plays needed. Just first down after first down after first down, and wind that clock. Because when you beat a Mike Tomlin team, when you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, you understand you beat a well-coached and a good football team. The confidence that the Bears have now will increase because you just beat a good and well-coached football team. And don't get me wrong, like I said, there's no style points. But the confidence you gain, like when you beat a crappy team, your confidence doesn't go up very much. You went on a fluke, your confidence doesn't go up very much because as a competitor, it could have gone either way. It could have gone the other way. When you beat a well-coached team, your confidence goes up. And that's what I need for this Bears team to do. is understand that Pittsburgh's not going to stop fighting, and they're going to try. And if you can hold them off by running that ball late in the game, and maybe even, boom, making it 30-20. You take it down, time to run out, kick the field goal, make it a 2-possession game, put it out of reach, and there's a minute left or 47 seconds left, whatever. What that does is it shows your resiliency against a good football team, okay? The belief that we talk about that you want to have in yourself is further strengthened by that victory. And not just by the victory, how you got that victory. One of the concerns I have is this pass pro. Okay? One of the concerns I have. They're third in the NFL in sacks. They get to the quarterback. Caleb, you're not going to be able to do your Houdini thing as much as you want, or as you have been up to this point. You know, Caleb talks about Aaron Rodgers was his favorite quarterback growing up. Well, then I think you need to emulate him. Okay? I think you need to emulate him in the sense of getting the ball out quickly. All right? If you watch Aaron Rodgers the last couple of years here in New York, last few years in Green Bay, you notice that he would get the ball out short, quick, let his receivers do the work, which is what I've been saying all year long for Caleb to do. Let your playmakers make plays. Aaron Rodgers knew it because he was getting old. I can get it to you. You make plays. Numbers still go on my stats as well, but I'm not taking any hits. And that's what Caleb needs to understand. Anything you want to emulate about Aaron Rodgers, emulate that. Emulate the way that he's getting rid of the ball quickly. Because that is the best way to stop a pass rush. When you get rid of that ball within less than 2 seconds, there's no way on God's green earth that the pass rush can ever get to you in 2 seconds. There's none. All right? None. Not unless you overload. And if you overload, then someone's got to be open. But there's no way that they can get to you with a regular blitz or a regular pass rush in under 2 seconds. So I'm hoping they're working on that at Hallis. I hope they're working on that, and I hope he's working on it as well. See, he's being hard-headed. He still wants to make the big plays. He still wants to hit the home run, and you have to understand, always win games. You can win a game with singles and doubles, or just singles. Put enough singles together, enough runs score. And that's what he's got to understand. It's the youth in him. It's the grandiosity. When we're young, we want the big, splashy play. All right, the one that's going to make SportsCenter, the one that's going to make the highlights, the one that's going to be all over social media. We want that play. And as wonderful as that play is, it's no more effective than the 7 plays that lead up to the 85 yards. It's no more effective. And that's what he's got to understand. If it takes us 8 plays to go down and score, then let's take 8 plays to go down and score. Okay? It's okay. It doesn't have to be a big home run ball. It doesn't. Rick says, don't you think Coach Jay wants the big chunk plays as well as Caleb? FGB, yes, I do. But what I'm saying is, everything's not all the big chunk plays aren't going to be there all the time. But what's going to be there are the little singles, Okay, take those until you get the big chunk plays. Because what's going to happen is people are going to adjust. If you keep, it's called death by 1,000 paper cuts. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. I'm telling you, if you hit a wide receiver and he gets tackled for 3, you run the ball, you gain 4. Then you run a slant on the other side, and DJ Moore gains 4, first down. Then you hand the ball off to DeAndre Swift, he gains 5. Then you throw a curl, gain 7, 10, 7, first down. Then you run the ball, gain of 4. All these things keep defenses on the field. All these things drain the strength and the resources from defenses at the end of the game. So I'm not saying I don't want the big plays, Rick. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I want you to make these motherfuckers pay. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want you to make these mother hubbards pay. And that's the mentality you have to have. We're going to punch you in the freaking ribs all day. All day we're going to punch you in the God-blessed ribs until you have to bring your arms down. When you bring your arms down, we are knocking your head off. You can't just go for the big shot. I mean, you can, and you might be able to catch them early. But to continue to beat that body. Yeah, he wants the big plays, but you know how you get the big plays? When you lull people to sleep, when you continue to get 3, 4, 5 yards a pop. When your receivers are catching slants and getting 6, 7 yards a pop, 12 yards a pop, 8 yards a pop. And all of a sudden they run a double move. That's how you get your big plays. See, the thing is, when you're a good team, there's going to come a point in time where you care how you win. Don't worry, at the end of the day, you want just to win. But you care how you win. Am I going to beat this team in a submission? Am I going to force this team to quit? When you get to that level, I'm telling you from experience as a player and you get to the point where you're like, okay, this week I want to do this with this team against this team. This week I want to do this against this team. I want to win like this. We're going to punch them in the mouth. We're going to just use our brute strength, our physicality. Next week we might use our speed and run by them. Take advantage of their secondary. But when you get to that point, and that's where I want this team to get to, which they're on their way. They're on their way. They're not there yet, but they're on their way. And stick to the identity that you're forging, and that's running the ball. And don't get me wrong, you can have big plays in the run game. You can have big plays in the run game. Just like you could hit someone in the ribs, break a rib, and dude drops to his knee. You don't have to knock someone out by hitting him in the head, do you? You can break someone's rib or hit him in the kidneys, and he goes down to a knee, fight over. So the constant barrage of body blows that I want this Bears team to deliver is endless. Endless. With the way our tight ends have been blocking, bringing in Ozzie Trapillo, putting him in as an eligible receiver. I want to try and keep Caleb as clean as possible. I want to try and keep Caleb as clean as possible. And people have said, and it's okay. People said Caleb has been managing the game, been a game manager. And And Jalen Hurts was a game manager. He's got a Super Bowl ring. Jalen Hurts is a game manager. He has a Super Bowl ring. We've already seen Caleb come back and win games for us. It's okay. We know he can do it. We don't need him to do it every time. We need you to be cool with managing the game until it's time for you to go ham. So it's time for you to go crazy and take off and hop in the phone booth until it's time, if necessary. Because you know what? You know what I would love is Caleb managing the game and he doesn't have to jump in the phone booth. He doesn't have to jump in the phone booth because our offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. Our run game is controlling the clock. Our defense is forcing 3 and outs. Maybe bending but not breaking. And maybe 2 or 3 times a year, Caleb's got to take his cape, got to hop in the phone booth. I'd be comfortable with that. I don't care about Caleb's numbers. There's only one number I care about every week with Caleb. The W or the loss. I want the dub. And it's apparent that Caleb just wants the dub as well. Now, a lot of other people want to see the 400 yards or 5 touchdowns. Cool. If that doesn't call for it, if that week doesn't call for that, for him to do that, cool. If this particular week calls for him to do that, then I want him to do that. But let's not get caught up in numbers. Let's not get caught up. Well, he's got to have this. He's got to have that. No, we'd like for him to have that. But we want wins. And the more we win, the more those numbers are going to come. Don't make the numbers the priority. Make the winning the priority. Because when you make the winning and you focus on the winning, those numbers will come. Because we're not going to win the same way every week. We're going to have the same agenda. We're going to have the same identity. But sometimes people are going to load up the box because we're going to be averaging 200 yards a game. Like, no, bump that. We can't do that. So now Caleb gets to go to work. Sometimes you may be able to identify a mismatch. One of the cornerbacks is hurt. They sign a guy off the street. I'm testing that Mother Hubbard. I'm testing him early and often. So the thing is with Caleb, take your shots when they're there. And when they're there, do not miss. Do not miss. Those overthrows to Rome, overthrows to DJ. You cannot miss those on a consistent basis. You can't. Those plays are what get people scared. Because people already know about our run game. People already know about the run game. And if you can now add the deep passing game to it, because your intermediate, your short to intermediate game is okay. Your end of the game play is outstanding. Now it's just before that. If you can get efficient in there, it's year 2, year 1, de facto year 1 for all intents and purposes. Year 1 in this system. It's going to come. That's what we're praying. And if it does, and when it does, watch out. It's going to be something different. It's going to be something we haven't seen here in a long time. Not since Cutler, Marshall, Jeffrey, Bennett, Forte, back in 2012, 2013. We're talking 12, 13 years ago. Shorty says, is FAR really playing with a broken hand? We don't know. We don't know. But as Rob said, the likelihood of it is high. Him playing at Soldier Field for the last time, to show his ownership of the Bears, to prove his ownership of the Bears, is more than likely high on his list. We know Aaron Rodgers is petty. We know he wants to go out with a win in Chicago, a place he's dominated 25 of the last 30 times he's played us. So, Shorty, I would say yes, he's going to play. The Bears are 12-1 all time at home against the Steelers. Well, that's good. Let's make it 13-1. Unlucky number for Aaron Rodgers. In addition to this offensive line, yeah, you did spell Stealers. I thought it might have been a spell check. One of the things I'm concerned about, I'm worried, is this wide receiver core. It's passing game. Okay. Are we going to hit the gimmies? Are we going to hit the gimmies? Because that's going to be important. That's going to be the checkdowns, the tight ends. Tight ends are going to be huge. All right, they have one. Darnell Washington, who's 6'7", 300 pounds. We can move. Okay. Our guys are in 6'7", 300 pounds. He's 6'7", 240, 250. Who can move. Move. Saw run away from DBs, move. And we got a rumbling, stumbling, bumbling tight end as well. Are we going to use those guys? Are we going to exploit that matchup? Because once we start exploiting that matchup, what's going to happen? They're going to have to cover the middle. Ben Johnson, what's your adjustment when they start covering the middle? Now here's where Rome. Now here's where DJ. Now here's where Luther Burden. This is why I want them to attack. I want a shot every quarter. Every quarter, take a shot deep. Every quarter. Just one. It keeps people honest, it keeps them honest. Okay? And by keeping people deep, by taking a shot and keeping them honest, what you're going to do is you're going to open up that second level. Right behind the linebackers. You open it up. You're going to run the ball. You go deep, first play, boom. I'm telling you, the mentality is like, okay, they can go deep. They didn't connect. I have to be leery. I can't cheat because they're already watching to see if I cheated play one. That, in their mind, that's what goes through the minds of DBs and D coordinators. How it was. I'm telling you. They went deep. First series, like, oh, snap. Okay. And you continue to go deep. One of the second quarter, one of the third quarter, one of the fourth quarter. If you connect, you continue to go deep. But can we hit the gimmies? Can we hit the 5-yard outs? Can we hit the swing passes? Can we hit the tight end pops? Can we hit the tight ends up the seam when we add a play action? Can we do that? Can Caleb do that? Will Caleb do that? Shorty says FGB, FAR, FGB, LCBC. Let Caleb be Caleb. Let Caleb be Caleb. These are the things I'm concerned about on the offensive side, on the defensive side of the ball. Can we stop that run? Don't let some no-name running backs run through us and put our defense in a really tough bind. It's going to be a tough bind to go up against Aaron Rodgers, because as much as we hate him, okay, there is a level of respect that we have for him because of his success. Right? He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, as much as we hate it. And if you allow him to sit back there and pick you apart because you have to come down on play action, it's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster for our defense. And now we're in a shootout. And I don't like getting in shootouts with gunslingers. Even an old gunslinger. There's an old saying, be leery of the old warrior. He's old for a reason. He's old for a reason. I mean, he hasn't been killed yet. He gotten to live old because he's very, very good at being a warrior. Be leery of the old warrior. He's old for a reason. So let's make Aaron Rodgers look old. Let's make him look past his prime. Let's do that. And with that, we need to get to the quarterback. With that, we need to get him off his spot. With that, we need to hit him. We need to pound him. And that's where I'm worried. Can we get to the quarterback? Because he understands. He doesn't want to get hit. He'll be 42 years old. He doesn't want to get hit. He gets rid of that ball quick. So if he gets rid of that ball quick, get your hands up and jump. Passing lanes. I'm telling you, there's nothing more frustrating to a quarterback. Nothing more frustrating to a quarterback than balls batted down. You can take a sack. You can take the pressures. When the ball gets batted down, you're throwing a ball because you think you got a receiver open. The ball doesn't get past the line of scrimmage. Fudge. Receivers get frustrated because they feel they're open. They're about to get the ball and make a move. Frustrating. So let's frustrate him. If you're not going to get there, get your hands up in the passing lane. Get your hands up in the air. 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 All my people back in my clubbing days. Tell you what. Excuse me. Big challenge ahead of us. Secondary, or the linebackers. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. Because we had a lot of people, a lot of linebackers were on that injury list yesterday, the injury report. And that's not what we need. It's not what we want. Right? Here's what we got. Here's the injury report from yesterday. Trey Edmonds did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. TJ Edwards did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. Travis Homer, limited, did not practice Thursday, limited Wednesday. Roshan Johnson did not practice on Thursday. Noah Sewell did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. Joe Thuney, rest. Did not practice because of rest on Thursday. All right, Theo Benedict and Drew Dahlman, limited. Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, limited. Darnell Wright, limited. Full practice, full participants were Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard, Grady Jarrett, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Swift. So is Jalen Johnson back for Sunday? I don't know. I hope so. I hope that's a sign for him to come back. We could use him back there. Definitely could use him. DJ Metcalf is a big, strong dude. Big, strong dude. Clubbing at the warehouse, among other places, but yes. King Booker World says, seems like the Bears get back a player and lose 3. Well, don't forget, they'll give the veterans veteran days and things like that. They'll get a couple days off. You see Kevin Byard didn't practice on Wednesday, neither Grady Jarrett on Wednesday, and then they're full on Thursday. You saw the rest up there with Joe Thuney. But I hear you. It just seems like our list, seems like our injury report is always full. Our injury report always seems to be full. With at least 6 to 8 people on it, at least. Here, how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Jesus Christ. 16 people on the list. That's insane. That is insane. Monica, Jeremiah, good morning, Ma. This is great show with you, Shawn. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And on the safeties. So linebacker crew I'm concerned about. Who's going to play? Okay. Who's going to play? That's a big issue for us. All right, partly because they got this big-ass tight end who's 311 pounds. It's going to take a big dude to bring him down, and we don't have any linebackers there. All right. I told you what I would do. When everyone comes back, when Kyler Gordon comes back, Kyler Gordon back at slot, you move C.J. Gardner-Johnson to safety. Put him in a box if you want. Strong safety. Move Jaquan Brisker into the linebacker. Put him at the will in definite passing situations. Okay. I feel better with him in coverage against a tight end. Because there's so many times, and Jaquan Brisker is a physical dude, and sometimes he's guilty of friendly fire far too often. Okay? It happens a lot. Not just him. It happens a lot in the NFL. Guys come in to knock a dude out, a dude drops, or he just takes a bad angle. People take a bad angle, they hit their own player, and they hurt their own players hurt. Oh, but listen. I'm so sorry. We got this new thing. We can do this. So you see in the upper left-hand corner, we got Sports Zone Chicago swag. So if you're interested in, if you're watching on a computer and you want to order you some Sports Zone Chicago gear, all right, you're going to need this real soon. You're going to need your FGB shirt real soon. Get that. Okay. And then in addition to your FGB shirt, you're going to need this. You're going to need your Bears Victory Monday shirt. The QR code in the upper left-hand corner, it'll take you right to Sports Zone Chicago swag shop. It'll take you right there. Place the order, get your shirt, wear them loud and proud. Wear them loud and proud. You got FGB shirts to wear on Sunday, and Monday wear Bears Victory Monday shirts all day long. Annoy the hell out of people with. Shorty says, when Gordon comes back, where do you play C.J. Gardner-Johnson? I think I just answered that for you, Shorty. C.J. Gardner-Johnson goes to safety. You move Jaquan Brisker into the box. It's a will, or like a robber, or I mean, you can have like a dime package, really, with him being oh, no worries. Yeah, so you could have a dime package. Okay, 2 corners, 3 corners, 2 safeties. It's a nickel. I bring another nickel back. It's a dime. You can play dime most of the time, and you're not giving up a lot of physicality because you still have Jaquan Brisker in there, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson in there, and Kyler Gordon there. Even though Kyler Gordon's very injury prone, he is not afraid to stick his nose in there. King Booker was, I got to give me the Bears Victory Monday shirt to put in front of my truck every Monday after a win. Do it. Do it. Yep. Put Brisker in the box and have C.J. Gardner-Johnson out and about and safety. And he'll probably be close to the box as well. So here's the thing. You got 2 versatile athletic players in the box who bring it. You're not dealing with linebackers who might not be as quick or as fast or quick or nimble. You got 2 DBs who can bring the pain, but also nimble on their feet. You saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson the first game. He gets pushed, which most guys would have been pushed way past the quarterback. He gathers his feet, 2-step, leans in, bends, gets the sack. That would be great. CJ should get that tight end mad and have him swing on him like Siobhan Wims did. Yes, sir, Bob. Yes, sir. So make sure you guys, you get there, you order your Sports Zone Chicago gear. All right, Black Diamond already got his FGB shirt. He got it on site. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll probably be at local cantina on Sunday. You got it good. Black Diamond, you want to come out? Check us out there, local cantina. Check out local cantina in Oak Lawn. It's 5130 West 95th Street. Doors open at 11. From 11 to 12, there's tamales, there's carnitas, and there's birria tacos. Goat tacos. You'll love it. And at halftime, free hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and hot dogs. All that's free. All right, all that's free for the game and halftime. Make sure you get there. It's going to be one heck of a watch party. I got Hirsch throwing this one. Okay, but we're going to get out of here. I want to thank my guest, Rob Gregson from A to Z Sports. He covers the Steelers for them. Great stuff, man, coming on today. And, previewing the Steelers-Bears matchup on the lakefront Sunday at Soldier Field. I want to thank him. I want to thank my guy, Evan Winter, who turned me on, who got me connected with him. Evan Winter's he's maybe, I don't know if he's the editor-in-chief, but he's in charge of all the NFL over there at A to Z Sports. You remember Evan? We used to talk all the time. And he's not covering the Bears anymore. That's what Cole Noble does. Cole is a new guy who covers the Bears. But Evan and I, so I'll reach out to Evan like, hey, you got a Steeler guy for me. You got a Ravens guy for me. You got a Eagles guy for me, so on and so forth. And sure enough, so I want to say, have a big shout out to Evan Winter for always coming through for me whenever I needed an opposing team's writer to come on the show the week before, a couple days before the game. I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that. It's a big shout out. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate it, my man. And you guys, I want you guys to have a phenomenal week. King Book says, when you can make a mug so mad they punch you in the helmet, you have a douchery skill that is uncanny. Remember, that wasn't the first dude who hit him. That wasn't the first dude who hit C.J. Gardner-Johnson. It was someone else too earlier in the year, another team. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, you have a phenomenal weekend. The weather's going to warm up. It's going to be a high. What's the weather today? Let's look at Cheryl Scott's forecast. High today of 51. I think it's going to be 53 tomorrow, 56 on Sunday. If you're going to the game, have a great time. It's going to be nice and warm, mostly sunny. It's going to be one heck of a day. Get out there, tailgate. I might be heading out there selling some FGB shirts. Okay. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, I want you guys to have a phenomenal weekend. Let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. All right. Make sure that you reach out to your people. What better way than to go watch a Bears game at their house, at your house, at a sports bar, okay, a rooftop patio. There's so many different places to go. Check it out. All right, do that. Both of you and your people will be happy that you went, that you met up, okay? Guys, I will see you on Monday. Hopefully it'll be another Bears victory Monday. Hopefully I'll be wearing this bad boy again, and we'll see. We will see. All right. Have a wonderful day. From everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.
Come on, race the race. Get ready for the job and answer the clock.